It is 9 o'clock. It is the 23rd day of December, the 23rd day of Vlogmas, and I am your grumpy guide to all things gaming, your Scrooge with the news. So, following our new format, it's Wednesday, so let's take a look at everything we can expect to be on the shelves this week at your friendly local game store or your preferred online provider. Now, of course, all these dates are tentative because, as we have said before, Amazon and FedEx and UPS have all pushed back their dates for delivering non-essential product so they can get the COVID vaccine out first and foremost. So if you're expecting something to show up, it might, but it might also be delayed because of the vaccine. That said, let's take a look at what we expect to see on the shelves this week. Okay, so, and as always, most of these are going to be 5e crap. We have something called The Seas of Voldari, Vodari, from a company called Trability. So it looks like a seafaring adventure map and world guide for 5e for a seafaring swashbuckling pirate-themed campaign from a company called Trability. That might be on the shelves this week. We have something from Solace Games called Awakened Skeleton, which are rules for playing Undead, I guess, for 5e from a company called Solace Games. We have from Tower Rex, we have a Big House wood laser cut model. This is a detailed location of a house cut from like pre-printed wood kind of thingy. Looks sort of like an inn or maybe a wizard's house. Yeah, my game stores aren't going to carry something like this, but yours might. So if you need some 3D printed stuff, there you go. From Crucible 7, we have another thing for Age of Sigmar. Wow, Crucible 7 is really knocking out of the park for the Warhammer stuff. So this is something called Soulbound. It's the Age of Sigmar Soulbound Collector's Edition from Crucible 7 for, of course, the Warhammer system. So it's more stuff for Age of Sigmar. We have from Quality Games, we have a new role-playing system called Lex Arcana. This should be out of the scene. This is a fantasy game where Rome has never fallen. The PCs play characters in a new Rome, dealing with needs of the emperor and stuff like that. So there you go. So, if you want some Greek-Roman speculative fiction that isn't D&D, there you go. This is from a company called Quality Games, Lex Arcana. From Feral Games Incorporated, we have a Ghost Ops modern day covert operations RPG out for Fudge Fate. We've talked about Fate previously on this channel. But whatever, it might be somebody's cup of tea. We have a Rules Light tarot card based role-playing game from Rowan, Rook, and Descartes called Royal Blood, where you play half magic, half human characters dealing in a world of tarot-based shenanigans. So if that sounds like your cup of tea, look for Royal Blood from Rowan, Rook, and Descartes. And that is it for this week. That is everything we can expect on the shelves this week for role-playing related stuff. If you're looking for some ideas for stocking stuffers for your players, there is from Boston, America, a thing called D&D Potion Candies. So it's a giant metal 20-sider filled with basically, potion bottle-shaped Pez. From a company called CZYY, we have inspiration coins. So they look like they are wooden coins that you can give every time you give somebody inspiration in your D&D game. I can't remember the last time a DM ever. I don't think I've ever seen a DM give inspiration in any of my games, but I guess it's a thing. Strategium has released a whole new slew of the life trackers. These things are great both for D&D and Magic the Gathering, or just any game where you have to keep track of like hit points and conditions. They're little cards with a little spinny wheel. I had one for a while, but I gave one to a friend. They're great. And of course, dice. and dice jails, because dice jails are now a thing thanks to Laura Bailey. So these are little dice jails from a company called Face End. Looks like they can hold about 4 or 5 dice. They look like a little jail, so if you're one of those people who think you need to punish your dice for being bad, there you go. We have some D&D engraved coasters from 1337 Shady Studios. So these are little wood coasters with a D20 designed on them. So if you're playing on a nice table and don't want to get stained, you put this little coaster down, you put your drink on top of it. We have player and monster tokens from Dahan Dice. So these look like little plastic tokens with like monster symbols on them, weapons, effects. If you don't have figures, it's cool. And that's some suggestions from your friendly local game stores for last-minute D&D stocking stuffers for your players. Or just get them figures and dice, if nothing else. For all your Christmas shopping for role-playing stuff, please go to your friendly local game store as opposed to getting it from Amazon. They really need your support. I am your friendly local grumpy guide to all things gaming, the Grinch that stole Hanukkah. I will talk to you later.